First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu presents 4.5 billion naira bond certificates to 2,000 state retirees. Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority suspends 10 private jet operations. And Farrington Labour Party secures landslide victory in UK election. And then in sports, Argentina defeats Ecuador to reach semi-finals of Copa America. And now the details. I am Mike James. The Legacy Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has handed over a bond certificate worth 4.5 billion naira to 2,000 retirees from the State Civil Service. Speaking at the 105th bond certificate presentation ceremony organized by Lagos State Pensions Commission, LASPEC, Governor Sanwo-Olu said his administration is committed to upholding the dignity and financial stability of retirees and extend the gesture to the current workforce who will henceforth be paid as they leave the civil service upon completion of all documentation before retirement. Governor Sanwo-Olu commended the retirees for their dedication and selfless service to the state.
We have strategically prioritized clearing all backlog of our food pension payments to ensure that our retirees enjoy the dignity and the financial stability after retirement. This commitment extends to the welfare of both current and former members of our workforce, recognizing their unblemished career in the Lagos State Public Service.
In a goodwill message, the state head of service, Bode Aguru, who was represented by the permanent secretary, Public Service Office, Olasunkanmi Oyegbola, stated that since 2019, the state government has paid over 59.7 billion naira to over 17,000 retirees. In his opening remarks, Commissioner for Establishment and Training, Afolabi Ayotayo, who was represented by the permanent secretary in the ministry, Olubusola Abidaku, noted that the gesture of Governor Sanwo-Olu will bring confidence back to the contributory pension scheme, impact positively on the civil service by improving the lives of workers, boost their morals and productivity. Earlier in a welcome address, Director General LASPEC, Bawalola Obilano, acknowledged the dedication and accomplishment of the retirees and their contributions to the state civil service. Obilano appreciated Governor Sanwo-Olu for prompt approval of clearance of backlog of retirees, accrued pension, and all stakeholders for unflinching support towards their plight.
I encourage our retirees to choose wisely between the program we run and NITS. Like I said, the two options are tested and they are both good. Within a week from today, the pension fund administrators will have created the accounts and they will call you to come and decide what option you want. I wish to extend my warmest congratulations to all retirees. May your retirement years be filled with joy, good health, and fulfillment.
Our correspondent Ajola Akindele reports that the representatives of the retirees, Mrs. Rachel Thompson, commended Governor Sanwo-Olu for purposeful leadership and his magnanimity in ensuring prompt payment of their reimbursement benefits. Legacy Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sued for a harmonious working relationship among the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, relevant federal and state ministries, as well as agencies to enhance water potential of the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu made a call when he received the Senate Committee on Marine Transport and Blue Economy, led by its chairman, Wasiu Eshinlokun Sani, at the Lagos House, Ikeja. The governor noted that the full potential on marine ecosystem must be utilized for the benefit of all residents, with a call on relevant stakeholders to continue to synergize to achieve optimal results.
And so for us, we see ourselves as partners with NIWA, with the Federal Ministry of Transport and Marine, in whatever thing, because we are committed, and we believe that they are also equally committed. The only little part that where we usually also need to, strengthen that relationship, is always in the area of, stand filling, and approvals around stand filling.
Earlier, the chairman, Senate Committee on Maritime Transport and Blue Economy, led by its chairman, Wasiu Eshinlokun Sani, said members of the committee are in Lagos as part of its oversight function to ensure that the state's Waterways Authority and NIWA are in accord to achieve security in the maritime sector.
to have a meeting with you to show you that we are not here to be shunt. We are here to work with you, and we are to work for the people of Lagos State and the people of Nigeria. So basically, it's an oversight function, and oversight function is enshrined, as it were, in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, a very critical portion.
Our correspondent Adiola Akindele reports that the committee members on maritime transport and blue economy thereafter embarked on an inspection tour of waterfronts in the state. Lagos State Government has concluded the 2024 Hajj exercise with the safe arrival of the last and final batch of the state pilgrims from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The pilgrims on board Flying Ass Flight XY9066 touched down at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, with 401 pilgrims and 11 officials that comprised 144 Lagos and 257 Osun State pilgrims. Speaking to the journalists on arrival at the tarmac of the airport, the Amir ul-Hajj and State Commissioner for Home Affairs, Ibrahim Layodi, said the Hajj operation was a success. The commissioner, who was visibly elated, appreciated the pilgrims for their exemplary conduct whilst in the Holy Land, promising that the state would work to improve on the few challenges observed during the exercise.
It's very, very good, very, very encouraging, because what we met on ground on that, the Hajj, the Saudi Hajj Commission, they have enough preparation, and also I thank the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria also with their own support and their own arrangement within us. They are also on ground, which will also work in collaboration for the success of this 2024 Hajj.
Layodi also extended his appreciation to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, for their support to the pilgrims and the board, saying the support contributed greatly to the success recorded during the exercise. National Security Advisor NSA Nuhu Ribadu says the federal government is working assiduously with relevant authorities to close up ungoverned spaces that have continued to provide hiding places for criminal elements in the country. Ribadu stated this when he officially handed over 16 abductees to officials of Zamfara state government following the rescue from terrorists by security agencies. He reiterated the resolve of the President Bola Tinubu-led government to rid the country of kidnapping and other heinous crimes. Ribadu urged all citizens and residents of Nigeria to continue to support the efforts of the security agencies in achieving the government's vision of securing the country. And now to the rest of the stories. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has suspended 10 private jet operations over failure to begin the recertification process. Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Michael Achimugu, said the Nigeria Civil Aviation Regulations 2023 Part 18.3.4 forbids holders of permit for non-commercial flights, PNCF, from using their aircraft for carriage of passengers, cargo or mail for hire or rewards, commercial operations or charter services. Achimugu said the NCAA will not hesitate to initiate enforcement actions against any PNCF holder found guilty of illegal operations. He said that its officials had been deployed to general aviation terminals and private wings of the airports to monitor the activities of the PNCF holders. And the federal government says no fewer than 21 local government areas in 10 states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, have been submerged by flood as a result of torrential rainfall in the past few days. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Usev, who stated this alongside the Minister of State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Goronyo, and the Director General, Nigeria Hydrological Services, NIHSA, at a briefing in Abuja, said some states had started experiencing varying degrees of flooding and its associated disasters as early as April in 2024. Usev noted that most of the flood incidents recorded so far were flash urban floods resulting from high rainfall intensities of long duration and poor and blocked drainage systems. Meanwhile, the Academic Staff Union University of Lagos chapter says the union may consider going on strike if the government does not respond to its demands after all the nationwide protests. For some weeks now, ASU chapters have been engaging in nationwide protests. They also wrote open letters to the federal government to request that agreements the government had with the union be implemented. Speaking during the protest, Chairman of ASU Unilag, Kayode Adebayo, maintained that the purpose of the nationwide protest was to inform the public about the insensitivity and silence of the government on the union's demands. And in some foreign news, the Labour Party has secured a landslide victory in the UK election to end 14 years of Conservative rule. Labour leader and incoming Prime Minister Keir Starmer said in his victory speech that change begins now. Outgoing Conservative Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has conceded defeat, saying it has been a difficult night. There was a surge in support for the Liberal Democrats, while the populist right-wing Reform UK party picked up support from disgruntled Conservative votes to win a clutch of parliamentary seats. And now in sports news, Argentina has defeated Ecuador 4-2 on penalties to qualify for the semi-finals of the Copa America. Lionel Messi, who was the first to step up for the penalties, missed his efforts, but Emiliano Martinez made 2 saves in a shootout following a 1-1 draw in regulation time. Lisandro Martinez gave holders Argentina the lead in the 35th minute when Alexis McAllister's headed flick found the defender at the far post, and he nodded home his first international goal. Ecuador turned up the pressure in the second half, and it paid off at a corner on the hour mark when the cross was deflected onto Rodrigo de Paul's hand, and the referee immediately pointed to the spot. Despite Messi's penalty miss, Martinez emerged the hero as he made 2 crucial saves before Nicolas Otamendi scored the decisive kick to book a semi-final spot. And that was our news at 10, but just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can also follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration deployed traffic lights and CCTV cameras in strategic places in the state? Well, you can get more details. It's on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has handed over bond certificates worth 4.5 billion naira to 2,000 retirees from the state civil service. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) has suspended 10 private jet operations over failure to begin the recertification process. And we also told you that the Labour Party has secured a landslide victory in the UK election to end 14 years of Conservative rule. And then in sports, Argentina has defeated Ecuador 4-2 on penalties to qualify for the semi-finals of the Copa America. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. It was compiled by Zainab Adebeshi. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Good morning.